Why, hello there. Episode 70 of season 2 is now live of the Third and 10 podcast. Hope you guys are doing well. Happy Tuesday to y'all. I'm Nate, joined always by my guy, Brian Germanaro. Man, we've done a lot of episodes, dude. I will
Yeah,
say, for this
we're over
podcast,
100. We're over
and we're
100.
over 100 because some season 1, I was like about 30 episodes ish, and then this is 70. Don't know how long season 2 is going to be for, but maybe until after the draft.
Yeah, I was thinking that's the perfect way to stop it. After the
Probably, and
draft,
then
it's perfect.
yeah,
The new
and then
season.
season
It's like the new roster, the new team. Season 3.
yeah, and that's hopefully season 3 is a better year for us
Mhm.
and also for the team itself. Um,
Yep.
and we'll be discussing our Giants today a little bit as we have our first Giants mock draft. We went 7 rounds. Me and Brian made our own mock drafts, and then we'll go through each round and discuss why we made the pick that we made. But otherwise, yeah, kind of a slow day in sports, I guess, for our teams and also just for sports as a whole. Baseball starting on Thursday, so that's gonna be fun. The NBA is the NBA. Not much going on there. The Lakers are struggling, I guess. If that's a headline for you guys. Losing, yeah, losing 3 straight as we speak. Losing to the who did we play yesterday? It was a okay team. Who did we play?
I'm not sure.
Lakers. The Magic. Yeah. Well, the Magic are 34 and 38. So that's good enough for what top 8 seed in the East, but unacceptable for us to be losing to the Magic. So we'll see what happens there. I mean, they're barely getting healthy again, the whole team.
Right,
So
yeah. I mean, I think AD just came back, last night for the Mavs? So.
For the Mavs, yeah. For the Lakers, it's like the whole team is like barely. LeBron is like his second game back ever since his injury.
Damn, that's tough. That is
Yeah,
definitely tough.
yeah, he was out for like a week or two. Yeah, 2 weeks actually. So we'll see what happens there. Hopefully, the boys will bounce back, but it's
Mhm.
critical they win games this week, especially on a road trip. But
Oh, yeah.
let's see, March Madness. We'll be discussing that today as well. We are now into the Sweet 16.
Mhm.
It was a fun round of 64 and round of 32 to say the least.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah.
Now for
No
our
little
bracket,
upsets I mean, Sunday we had some great games with that UConn game to start us off, and then the
mhm,
Colorado State Maryland game. That was pretty good.
yeah,
But yeah, no, otherwise, not a lot of storylines, but a lot of really good teams playing the Sweet 16 Elite Eight. We'll have a lot of really good basketball.
yes. I will say I think not much. Um, I guess or low seeds. Like seeds like 8 through 16 or 10 through 16. Moving
Yeah.
on, as right, they're all like eliminated base. I don't know how what do we call those schools? Mid-major schools, low
Yeah,
major
mid
schools,
majors. Yep.
mid majors. Thank you.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, not a lot of mid-major schools moving on. They've all been eliminated, and it's mostly just like top seeds or teams that
Yeah, I
no
think
one
the
expects.
lowest seed we have is number 10 Arkansas, which is, which like, can they really be considered like a Cinderella story when they have John Calipari and they're in the SEC? Like, that's not really Cinderella.
That is not mid-major at all. I'll tell you that. And they're the school they took care of St. John's, which yeah, thanks guys.
Yeah,
For running
yeah,
my
you're
for
right.
running my
My
bracket.
guy, they showed against Bryant and they didn't look great to start, but hey, they're still in. So,
Messed up my bracket, and tell you that. But it's fine. It's fine. I mean, I think my bracket is still no. Actually, I have one bracket that's 17th best in the belly up group. I think my
okay.
other bracket is like dead,
My
dead.
bracket's dead. I'm not even checking it anymore. Doesn't even
There-
matter to me.
Yeah, there's a guy in the group that has like a 99.1% accuracy rate.
That's whoever that guy is, you got a promotion. Your job is to cover college football, college
Dude,
basketball for us next year.
he
That's
is
what you do now.
so close to
That's what
getting
you
like
do now.
100%, dude. It's insane.
Yeah.
But overall, we'll talk about that, and then at the end of the show, we'll talk about baseball. Thursday's gonna be fun. I think we'll have not just our online rankings for Thursday, but also warming up for baseball on
Thursday.
Thursday as well.
Thursday.
Super exciting stuff,
Mm-hmm.
man. I'm hyped, man. The A's are on the road to start. We
So
are in Seattle.
we're in
You guys are you guys at home to start the season?
the start.
Who you guys play?
Houston.
Yeah, oh, Astros. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. So both our teams starting on the road.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Mets
So
don't play until next Friday is the home opener.
mm, so
We got a week on the road to start, which kind of stinks, but hey, whatever.
yeah, it is what it is. Plus,
Mm-hmm.
it'll give us a few games to see how the Mets. I mean, obviously it's always early to judge a team based off what 2 series to start
Yeah.
the year, especially on the road. But I'm just glad baseball is back. And
Oh,
I'm just
exactly. Yeah.
I'm so
Something else to
happy.
talk about. Something else to
Exactly.
watch.
Heck yeah. We'll probably make our own like Mets segment just for you. Honestly, I think
Yeah.
it'll be fun to do that.
Mm-hmm.
We'll figure things out though. But overall, yeah. So Juan Soto we'll talk about towards the end of the show. And yeah, all the things. So first, our Giants. Let's discuss the moves real quick that were made this past weekend. Obviously, we had our emergency show on Friday when the Giants signed Jameis Winston to a 2-year, $8 million contract, which goes up to $16 million. I can't do it. I don't know how you do it. How do you do it? Can you show me real quick? So you got to cross. You got to cross
cross
these
your ring to your middle finger.
and then spread the fit.
Spread them like that. Yeah.
There you go. Thank you, sir.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so it goes up to 16 million with incentives. So that's gonna be nice there. Reports say that even though we did sign Jameis Winston, that does not take us out of the race for Russell Wilson or Aaron Rodgers, which is hard to believe.
Yeah, I really think that's all just smoke, and they're just trying to cover the fact that hey, we might still get another guy. We might still draft the quarterback.
Yeah,
it's not a great attempt of covering what you want to do, but hey, it's something, I guess.
It is something. I mean, whatever keeps us in the headlines and keeps us interesting. But overall, I know for this team, we didn't sign Winston just to. I feel like the conversations they had in that meeting was like, "Hey, we're signing you to give you a chance to start.
Yeah,
we're gonna pay you with the rookie. We're not gonna sign anyone else."
Mm-hmm.
And a conversation.
It just feel weird having two veterans in a room. Like it just doesn't like two veterans as high profiled as Jameis Winston and Russell Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's one thing if they brought back like Mac Jones, who's kind of like out of the league. Like they brought in Mac Jones and then brought in Jameis Winston. It's like, okay, I kind of see what you're doing there. The defined backup, the rookie, and then the starter is what it would be.
Yeah. It's like you don't. Okay, for example, let's say we bring in Rodgers, right? So it's Rodgers versus Winston. What if Winston beats Rodgers out? Then it just creates a whole drama.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, Rodgers is upset.
What if Winston beats Rodgers out? Then it's going to be even more drama because Rodgers is going to throw a temper tantrum.
Yeah. That's how Rodgers is. He's a guy that, unfortunately, I hate to say it, because he's a really, he's going to be in the Hall of Fame. He's a really good quarterback, one of the best to ever do it.
Mm-hmm.
He does have some questionable decision making off the field.
Oh yeah,
that's just a nice way of putting it. But I don't know. I don't want Rodgers. He's made us wait too long. That's why I'm glad we signed Winston and Russ. Russ is less drama. We brought him in for a visit and all, but I don't know. The best course of action is to just get a rookie, let Winston play, all the things, and then go from there. But yeah, there's a report. I was like, oh, the Giants might get Rodgers or Wilson, and then have Winston, and then have a developmental quarterback that goes in like day 2. And I'm like,
I saw that. Yeah,
that doesn't set us up for the future, at all. No, like
that's too weird. That's weird to do that.
You stay at 3. Yeah, you stay at 3. You get yourself a Shadur if he's there, or trade up, whatever you got to do. With Cleveland, because you're definitely not trading up for one. Speaking of one, the Titans had everyone and their mama at Cam Ward's pro day yesterday. Cam Ward was outstanding. I'm sure you saw some clips of him at his pro day. Dude, that's a quarterback right there. He was slinging it. He was helping his receivers as well get attention as well. That's why he didn't want to throw at the combine, according to what he talked about in an interview, saying that he wanted to improve his receiver stock, get attention on them, and that's why he didn't throw at his pro day. Because
That's
he
kind of a
knew
good
that
teammate. That's a good
heck
like
yeah,
character stuff right there.
yeah. He has some underrated swagger. He doesn't have as much swagger as Shadur Sanders, but he
Mm-hmm.
has like a quiet swagger to him.
A
With
confidence almost. Like
hmm
he's not, flashy with it, but he's just like, I'm gonna get it done and I'm just gonna do my thing and just go with it.
yeah, and he's gonna be the number one pick, obviously, no doubt about it. He
Mm-hmm.
was throwing yesterday, and he literally looked at Tennessee staff and was like talking his talk, and all you could see in the background once Ward turned around back onto the field was like the whole brass was like smiling, the GM and the GM, um, and whoever was with them was like smiling, and they looked at each other like, yeah, that's our guy. And I don't blame him, man. Look, I wish we had the number one pick to
Mm-hmm.
choose between either Ward or Sanders, but we don't have that luxury, obviously. But Tennessee does because they're so bad last year.
Yeah.
They do not have a quarterback. They don't have a quarterback now. We sort of do,
No, we
but
do.
they do
We
not.
have, we have a
Yeah,
quarterback.
we
We have
do.
an
Sure do.
NFL caliber quarterback in Jameis Winston.
On their side, they have Will Levis, who has been rumored in trade talks, and they also signed Brendan Allen, who is a career backup,
Yeah, really.
just a regular
Like
signing,
that's
no
a
bonus
guy it
player.
would make sense the Giants to bring in with Jameis Winston. Like if
Yeah,
that was the
because
plan, like, oh, we're bringing James Winston, we're gonna bring in, Allen to be like our third string. Like, okay, that makes sense.
yeah,
Just
no threat.
yeah, it's no threat. If Winston, God forbid, goes down with an injury, you're not throwing, say they have Shador or Dart, you're not throwing them to the fire. It's like, no, we'll just go with Allen, and then we'll still let the process play out.
Exactly. Yes. So we'll see what Tennessee does in terms of how their quarterback room shakes out after the draft. But so far, Cam Ward the consensus number one after, especially after yesterday, no doubt about it. Number two, we'll see what Cleveland does. Is
It's
it going
either
to be
it's either
Hunter?
Carter or Shador they're gonna go with. That's kind of where I'm at with Cleveland right now.
Yeah, and the thing is, I don't. For some reason, Travis isn't going number two. Like it's always like 4 or 5
Mm-hmm.
or 3 to us. But and I hate seeing us getting him at 3. But the only way I'm okay with that is if Sanders goes 2. If Sanders goes 2, then we don't have a choice.
Right,
So,
yeah.
but I really hope Sanders. So getting Sanders at 3 would be just the perfect way to start day one, and then we can figure out the draft later on. But speaking of which, well, we do have our mock draft.
Mm-hmm.
Our first one of 2025, of the 2025 off season, I should say. But yeah, so we went all 7 rounds. We made our own mock draft, and we'll go through each round. We'll explain our pick and why we made it, and we will go from there. So, without further ado, let's get it. We'll start with you, my friend. I don't. Did you make any trades? I did not.
I did. I made a trade.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yep.
I will say that's similar to that we use. Shout out to Pro Football and Sports Network. Really good simulator. I was about to pay $23 to use Pro Football Focus.
Yeah, no, I sent this out to some of my friends. I'm like, use this. This is great.
Yeah, I looked at Pro Football Focus and I gave the middle finger. I was like, and yeah, I looked for something else and I saw Pro Football and Sports Network and I was like, this is more like it.
This is it.
Yeah. So, but overall, yeah. Let's start with you, my friend. Number 3 overall. I assume you didn't trade your first.
No, I
pick?
did trade number 3 overall.
You did trade number 3. All right,
yes.
That's interesting. All right, go
the
ahead,
Raiders
my friend.
called and they offered me the 6th overall pick, their 2nd round pick, and a 2nd round pick next year, and a mid-round pick next year as well. So they really overpaid me. So I'm like, okay, we're moving. We'll move to 6.
All right. So you went from 3 to 6. You got a heck of a haul. Holy shit.
Yeah, we got 6, 37, a 2nd round pick next year, and I think like a 5th next year.
Interesting. All right. So who do we get at 6?
Travis Hunter we got at 6. Somehow Mr. Hunter fell at 6. Now, if that's the package going from 3 to 6 and still getting probably the best athlete in this draft, I think that's a pretty big win for the Giants. It boosts up that young secondary, which we've been pretty high on. Now we're adding another major impact player to it. that can also go in and be a deep threat for Jameis Winston, he's going to make a major impact in 2025 if that's their first overall. That's the 6th overall pick. So that's I got Hunter at 6. I think it's a pretty good start for us.
I think for the fact that you traded down and you still got the best player in college football in terms of just two-way ability and skills, that's the guy right there. Yeah, I'm mad at it. I'm mad at it all. If we trade down and we still get that player at 6 in real life, I will be perfectly okay with it.
Like for me, the draft went Cam Ward and then Adu Carter. Who if Carter was there at 3, I would have stayed. I don't love Shedeur as much as you do. Like I think he's good, but I'm not sure if I want to take him at 3. So that's why when the Raiders offered that big package, I'm like, hey, I'll move to 6. If Shedeur falls to me and he's there at 6 with that package, let's go. We're still winning. But they took him at 3, and I'm like, all right, we'll take Hunter at 6 then.
Yeah, for the Raiders to make that trade or offer that trade, they know Geno is the present.
Yeah.
And Sanders is the future, which is pretty smart by them to do that in this particular simulator. So okay, I love it. So I went the boring route. So no trades for me this time in this mock draft. But number 3, it went. So it was Ward and also. So I think it was Carter after for me as well. So that left.
So start out the same way.
Same way. So Giants getting Shedeur Sanders. Look, he is one of the most accurate quarterbacks in this draft, and also one of the most toughest ones out there. One of the toughest out there, I should say. My apologies. Look, he had a bad offensive line in Colorado, and the Giants, let's be honest, they have a pretty average to O-line, especially after the injuries took its toll last year. However, this gentleman is quite confident. He has a swagger. I think if he brings that to New York, that just boosts his off the field value, especially in a market like New York / New Jersey. Set great numbers at Colorado. Played for Jackson State as well. He was outstanding there. 2, he can hit all the throws you need him to do. Has a great arm. For those who say he has a weak arm, is tripping. That he had what's it called? That game.
Colorado, you see their pro day is the 5th, I believe, is their pro day. That's Saturday.
Very exciting.
I cannot wait for that.
Yes, I'm watching that one for sure. All the guys there, Sanders, Hunter, and then the underrated guys as well, like Javonte Wester and Jimmy Horner, people to watch as well.
Yeah,
the wide receiver
guy that were like, wait a minute, who's that?
Yeah, the receiver room in Colorado was very talented, filled with guys who are going to get drafted. But Shedeur, great arm, can throw into tight windows. He can make all the reads, but there's times where he's gonna be standing in the pocket too much, and that's the thing. Like, he will need to scramble at times, and we will need to see more of that. We saw some of that at Colorado, but he is a pocket passer, to say the least. He has some athleticism, but he's a pocket guy, not much of an improviser like a Cam Ward is, to be honest. But overall, I love Shedeur. He is my favorite quarterback in this draft. I believe he's honestly going to be a top 10 guy one day. He just needs to be in the right team, and the Giants are a great fit for him. They will give him the time to develop, especially now with the acquisition of Jameis Winston.
And Dion loves it. Dion said he wants to be a Giant, which could have an Eli Manning situation for us, where he forces his way to us.
Hey, why not? Wait, it helped. It worked.
It worked with Eli. So.
It worked with Eli, and if we get Shedeur, man, I will be the happiest guy alive. Definitely be an Shedeur jersey. Maybe that same. No, I have to wait, right? Because we don't know what number he's gonna wear.
Yeah, you have to wait till camp starts, unless you want to get the one.
The
draft one, which is kind of stupid.
It feels special. Yeah. So, that's my first round pick, Shedeur Sanders, and for you, it was Mr. Travis Hunter with the trade down to 6. All right, second round, which you have
2 second-round picks.
2 second-round picks.
Yeah, 34 and 37. So pretty bunched together. So at 34, I have the Giants picking Jackson Dart. Say what you want about Dart. The Giants are going to draft a quarterback at some point in the first or second round. whether that be at 3 like you have them, whether it be trading back into the first round at 28 or 29, or if they just sit in the second round and pick 34. They're drafting a quarterback, and Jackson Dart is, outside of Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders, the best quarterback in this draft. Does he have flaws? Obviously. Did the tempo at Ole Miss, that play style, is it concerning? Yes, but if you sit him behind Jameis Winston for at least 3/4 of a season and show Dart this offense and teach him how to break down complex defenses, I think he has all the tools to be a serviceable quarterback in this league. I'm not saying he's going to be Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes. I'm saying he could be a top 10, anywhere from 8 to 12 of best quarterback. That high second, maybe a little low second tier style quarterback. I think he'd be that good. Number 37, I have the Giants taking Kenneth Grant, the defensive tackle from Michigan. The Giants need help on that interior. They have Dexter Lawrence, but outside Dexter Lawrence, it's a lot of question marks. Lawrence always played better when he had a guy like Leonard Williams behind him. So give him a talent like Grant, I think it's going to help not only the Giants in terms of the run defense, but elevate Lawrence games even more. So that's my second round.
I love it. You made a great point there because, look, Lawrence is the best defensive tackle in the NFL. No bias about it. Literally, you ask a lot of people.
Lawrence if he's not, he's the lowest he is top 3. Okay.
Yeah, lowest is top 3. And then that's considering he's behind guys like maybe a Jalen Carter, I guess, or Chris Jones, maybe, but that's even a reach too.
And then for a guy like Jalen Carter, what's his track record? He has 2 seasons in the league.
2 seasons.
Dexter Lawrence has had, was it 7? It's coming up 7 now.
And he's gotten better every single season, especially these past couple of years. He's been Pro Bowl / a whole NFL, all the things. He's been phenomenal in the NFL so far. I love Dexter is such a guy, but he does need help. Every great player sometimes does need help. And you mentioned he played great when he had Leonard Williams, and I miss him.
Yeah, Leonard. I'll never forget Williams' pick 6 against the Jets. I'm like, there's no way that's Leonard Williams running down the field right now.
A big dog rumbling.
Stumbling. He's going though.
Things we could have had, man. The things we could have had in New York for quite some time. But overall, to have another guy next, with Lawrence will help that defensive tackle room, because after Lawrence, that D tackle room it's a mess. It's a bunch of just depth. The free agency moves we made this offseason. I think we still have Nunes Roches. I think he's still on the team. But overall, fan freaking tastic. Other than that,
I'm telling you, if we sign Grant, Nunes Roches is on the cut watch or the trade watch immediately.
Yeah, I'm telling you. There's not. Let me see. I'm looking at our moves again. I have a list of them in terms of D tackles. Jeremiah Ledbetter. That's a depth signing. Who else did we get at D tackle? Golson is going to he's a defensive end, so he's not really a tackle of sorts.
He's the guy that can play defensive tackle in need be. He's like a swing guy on the offensive line, but his natural position is edge.
Yeah. Roy Robertson Harris, a 2-year deal, but he's mostly a guy who can set the edge, but he's not a good run defender. So it's we need help on that on the defensive tackle position. So hopefully Grant will be the solution if we do get him. But I love it. I stuck with the offensive side of the ball still in round 2. We're getting Donovan Jackson in the second round of what I got him for at 34. At 30, yeah, it was 34.
34,
yes. He's one of the top interior offensive linemen in the draft. We'll talk about all line, of course, on Thursday. Had a great resume as a Buckeye. He's 6'4", 320. Great intelligence, explosive for an offensive lineman in terms of mobility, and he has powerful strength, great athleticism, great hands as well. Just overall has a lot of good traits to him at his position. And I think for us, obviously, it's a lot of uncertainty still at the offensive line. Like Andrew Thomas is solidified. JMS is still going to be the center. We did bring back Greg Van Roten, and John Runyon remains at left guard. We did also resign Aaron Stinney officially as of today, but the more offensive line help we had, the better. And I feel like Jackson can take either the left guard or right guard position, especially right guard. I don't think Greg Van Roten is going to be a guy that I want starting heading into 2025, especially to protect or whoever is playing quarterback. And I think if we do draft Jackson, is to take over at right guard or put Jackson at left guard and move Runyon to right guard, depending on how we see fit.
Yeah.
But overall, he's a guy I love the most, and we'll cover more O-line on Thursday. But Jackson was my pick at 34. Just has a lot of positives. Few, or even if there are flaws, not much concerning. Many concerning flaws, to say the least, I should say. But overall, that is my pick in round 2.
No,
Round
I
3,
love
my
it.
friend. Who do we got?
Number 3, I went offensive line as well. Erie
Okay.
Jones Jr. out of LSU in the 3rd round. So this basically solidifies the move that Evan Neal's sliding over to guard. All right. I think
Yes.
I've been a major proponent for, I'd say, the past 2 years. I think I was one of the first people banging the drum to move Neal over to guard. But this now solidifies that move. We have Illuminor back at right tackle, and Jones Jr. is, he's really good, physical guy and pass and run protection, which if we're going to try to make Tracy take that next step, having a lineman like Jones can really help him with, getting those gaps that he can run through. He's an ideal size. He's 6'5". I believe he's 6'5", 315. So the ideal size and length for an offensive tackle in the NFL. The only issue is he struggles with pass protection, needs some developmental stuff. But that's why we have a guy like Illuminor there, or another veteran tackle that can kind of slowly transition Jones into that right tackle role and have him take over for like next year or late down the road in the season. So I think Jones is going to be a really good prospect. Just needs a little help at the beginning. But hey, I'm willing to take. I see this season as a transition period where hey, we could be good, we could be bad. It's all about getting our guys better.
Patience is key for
Yes,
us,
patience is
especially.
the key for him right now.
Yeah, not to be boring, but I also got Emory Jones in the 3rd round.
There we go. Okay, perfect. Help that line.
Dude,
Hey, build that line for Shedeur. You're building a great line for Shedeur right now.
Yeah, damn right. Dude, 6'5", 315, that is great
That's
size right
guy.
there for a lineman. Great physicality, like you mentioned. He fires out the ball with aggression. Great hands as well. It's just the balance and the flexibility are a bit concerning. He does struggle in space at times. His size and length are best in pass protection. So if he can kind of get his footwork under control as well, it will help not just in pass protection, but also in run blocking as well.
But hey, you don't think if you have, a guy like Andrew Thomas in the room with you and, our offensive line coach who took this team to like exactly where we wanted it to be, an average offensive line from a garbage offensive line, he can work and figure out what needs to be done to change his game to the NFL level? I trust it.
I trust it too. Best thing for Neal is to move him to guard. So he'll, and even if he moves to guard, by the way, there is no, I guess, certainty he will start. Which is sad to say for a 7th round pick or 7th overall pick, but that's how the cookie crumbles. But yeah, love Jones, one of the more underrated prospects in the mid rounds of this draft, and if we get our hands on him and we pair him up with a Donovan Jackson in my mock draft specifically, that O-line,
that right side looks great.
Hey, it sure does. I tell you that.
The only real concern to be the center, because I think Runyon's going to have a bounce back season in 2025.
I hope so, dude. Because look at these past couple seasons, rookie and a sophomore season, not much, I guess, optimism in terms of that. And it sucks to say because he was a 2nd round pick, the best center in the draft by far 2 years ago, and he hasn't lived up that potential. And hope this is the year. I hope this is the year.
I think so. I think Jameis has got a big year this year. I think he's going to have like a Weston Richburg type step because I think Richburg.
Oh my god! Too. Yeah, dude, Richburg was
great, and he got paid by Arizona. Didn't Arizona steal him and Pugh in the same offseason?
I think they did, which freaking a-holes for that.
Yeah.
I liked her. I liked, oh man, Justin Pugh.
Justin Pugh. If they would have kept Justin Pugh and Weston Richburg, that interior offensive line would have something to build off of.
I know Pugh has been out. I mean, he was on the couch, literally.
Right, yeah, but we're talking like 5-7 years ago at this point when we're
Yeah,
talking about
he was
it.
decent 5-7 years ago. Uh, it's still funny how he brought him out of nowhere back on the
Yeah,
team.
it's like, you guys remember Justin Pugh? Oh yeah, well we just signed him.
It's like, what?
Bro, still in the league? Yeah, he actually is.
Dude, we signed him, and I think he played the first game on Sunday night against Buffalo.
Yeah,
we
against
we
Buffalo.
literally put him right in the lineup because that's how bad our
It's like
line was.
figure it out, and he actually did decently. Like
He
people
was
talking about
decent.
Justin Pugh was pretty decent down there. We had a conversation: do we bring back Justin Pugh on a 1-year contract?
Yeah, sure. Unfortunately, we did not, but it
Yeah.
was the memories were good. Oh, I hated that. Oh, I hated that game so much.
That's the
Tyrod
game
Taylor
we had 2 goal line blunders. We should have won that game.
we almost beat
We should have
Josh
beaten the Bills by
Allen,
2 touchdowns.
bro. We
What
almost beat.
an absolute waste of one of the best defensive performances we've seen from that defense. That was McFadden's coming out game, I think.
It was, yes, and we can both agree. Pass interference on Waller. On the
No,
defender, that was
100%. But they call pass interference to play before. They're not going to do it or like a holding or something.
That's what that was such PI, dude. I was like, I was
But
so
hey,
pissed.
don't run whatever play they ran at the goal line before halftime. Don't do that.
Don't do it. What was it? Oh, what was it?
It was something stupid. It was something. They were trying to be creative, and it bit them in the butt.
Oh, dang it!
It's like just hand in the rock and run up the middle. Don't do whatever it is you're doing.
If we make a clip, I'll put the highlight or the particular play.
I think I had the play in my head where I think they did a weird handoff and the running back got tackled like 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage. If I'm remembering the play in my head right.
Was it like a slow draw play?
Yeah, I think it was something. It wasn't just like run up the gut. It was something weird.
Okay, maybe when you discuss your next pick, I'll try to look up the film.
You'll find it, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, we are on to round 4. Yes, round 4. Pick 99. Did you?
I don't have pick 99 in this one.
Is it because you traded with the Raiders?
No, I just don't have a comp. I just did an update for the comp picks.
Son of a gun. Okay. So what is your next pick, Stay?
105 is my next one.
Yeah, go ahead, but you can go ahead with that one.
Yeah. So I got Troy Horton, Colorado State wide receiver, 6'2". He's very, he's lean, only average, but slightly above average athlete. He's got a ceiling as a wide receiver to the next level. But hey, this is a guy that can come in with Jackson Dart. They can kind of, develop a chemistry together, sort of like how he brought in Daniel Jones and Darius Slayton in the same draft class together. It's the same thing. Those two can build a chemistry. So when Dart starts, he'll always have that safety, that wide receiver that he can rely on. And that's what Horton will be. Now, he'll have guys like Neighbors to help him out and stuff. But having that natural chemistry, someone you can bond with immediately because you're in a similar situation, I think bringing Horton is great for a young quarterback.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
You found
it? Okay, so it wasn't that it was a slow draw play. It's just with 14 seconds, no time. Oh my God, we're so dumb. They ran a HB dive to the right with 14 seconds.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
I knew it was some weird running play. I'm like, just run it up the middle.
Yeah, I know. I think it was up the middle. I know because I was watching it. So the Bills, they tackled Barkley, and they kind of just kept him on the ground for a long period of time. Not quote unquote.
That's what it was. They laid on top of him.
Yeah, and then we tried to spike it, and then by the time we spiked, it was 0 seconds. So
that's what happened.
Hey, still a bad play.
It's still a bad play. No.
Yeah, maybe
it's
toss.
It's the Seahawks thing. You have Saquon Barkley. Give him the ball. Make him run up the middle.
Yeah, it's still. Matter of fact, just throw the ball. But
yeah,
14 seconds, because if you run the ball, you get stopped. Yeah, you got stopped. And if you get stopped in the run with no timeouts, you're barely not gonna have any time left. So you must just throw the ball. But hindsight 2020. If it worked out, it would have been great. But if it didn't,
yeah,
Tyrod Taylor was pretty okay in that game, I will say.
Someone was like, hot take, Tyrod Taylor's the best quarterback they've had since Eli Manning. I'm like, you know what? You're not wrong.
He ain't wrong. He ain't wrong. Yeah, he ain't wrong. Either that or I'll take Tim Boyle for that one game where he was
the 10 snaps he played.
Hey, those 10 snaps.
It was a great 10 snaps. I'm not saying those 10 snaps. At least Tyrod played a game.
That is true. Hey, I would say dude, Tim Boyle was not bad
No, he
for the
wasn't.
snaps he played. He was getting Neighbors the ball, well, which makes Neighbors happy. And what you're always gonna make your star happy, man. I tell you that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I had pick 99 for some reason, so I think next time we'll make sure that you have that comp pick in your simulator because
I must have
sure.
I must have hit something or something that turned off comp simulators or something. I don't know.
You're good, buddy. No
Whatever.
worries. But I did address the deep tackle position with pick 99 with that comp pick that we got. And I went with Shamar Turner. I don't know, Shamar Turner, my apologies, from Texas A&M, a D tackle, 6'3", 290, disruptor, versatile, can play multiple positions on that front. Has a quick first step, has motor and physicality as well, which I love, and has great lateral movement. So he's got some good footwork and some good speed to him as
I'm sorry,
well.
it was the Raiders trade. It was Evolve. I did trade the pick away with the Raiders. Then that explains the extra picks.
That makes sense. Yeah, we'll take it.
Oh well, pretty good.
Yeah, it's all good. Agility and athleticism, stands out as well with him, especially for his size. And he does play with a high pad level, I would say. So that's one of the flaw of his, and that kind of with that creates a disadvantage when it comes to leverage. And he is inconsistent in the run game. But hey, he gets the quarterback, man. I will say, he's right. He can be disruptive, and with him and Lawrence and Turner, like he isn't a perfect prospect by any means at all. But if I got to get him in the mid rounds to have him develop, and especially in a defensive tackle that has a lot of depth to it, I think maybe after 1 year, he's going to be a guy that can start next to Lawrence or come in for Lawrence and won't miss a beat. I like Turner a lot for sure.
Yeah.
So, all right, on to round.
Well, I did 105 right.
You did.
I did round 4. I did Troy Horton out of Colorado State was my guy.
Okay. Gotcha.
Your pick,
So, all right, so 105 for me. You'll love this one. Look, I know our tight end room has Theo Johnson and Dale Bellinger. Bellinger has kind of been a quiet fall off type of guy after his rookie season, where I thought he had a lot of potential. Has kind of fallen off since.
The eye poke really let it. It changed his course of direction because he had to play with his shield, and he didn't kind of play the same after that. So look at his eye poke. He's probably different.
Yeah, which sucks, dude. That eye poke was nasty. So
and it's so freak. It's such a freak play too,
Mm-hmm. I think he was out for what, game or two, maybe more from that eye poke.
More because I think he had like surgery on his eye socket.
Fudge. I don't think about it. But overall, I was thinking like, okay, maybe let's get ourselves another solid tight end, someone that can be a receiver. Hey, help out whoever's a rookie quarterback is going to be, or help Winston out and sling that rock. And then I thought of you, my friend. I saw this guy on the board, and I was like, I think I like this one.
I know exactly
Mitchell Evans, 6'5", 258. Led the team with 3 touchdowns, which is saying a lot. Holy shit, that is only 3 touchdowns. You guys did not have.
we did not have a primary receiver one last year. We spread the wealth. Cole Marks would have been proud of us.
No, you sure did. Yeah, I tell you that. For Evans to have 3 touchdowns and lead the team is quite insane. And so, him standing out in that offense, I was like, okay, it's a good receiving weapon to have. 6'5", I mentioned, he's going to be a natural receiver. His size and spatial awareness will create mismatches. And he's a good blocking tight end as well, as we saw during his time with the Irish. So overall, to combine those two together, that's a solid tight end to have. Does have some flaws, of course. Not very fast, I would say you can correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, not very fast to say the least. He's more of just like, he's not a deep threat at all, I would say either.
He's a guy you bring in the red zone. He's a short down guy.
Yes, and you pair that with Theo Johnson, that's a good tight end room right there. And then Bellinger can go to tight end 3, and it's a solid 1, 2, 3, tight end room right there.
No more Manhurts though. You cut Manhurts.
Yeah. Oh, unless Manhurts. I don't know if he's.
The only reason I like Manhurts because his name is Manhurts. It's such a weird name to say.
It's so weird.
It's a weird name. That's the only reason I love him.
I think with Manhurts in terms of from a football perspective, I think for him it's like he's there for blocking purposes, but I
Oh,
think
that's the only reason he's there.
Evans comes in and he's a good blocker and a good receiver, so he kind of replaces Manhurts as that and is
Yeah.
a better tight end compared to Manhurts. So, but yeah, all right, on to pick 150. No, wait, you have a lot of picks, don't you? Still,
I have 154.
okay, yeah, 154.
The 5th round pick is next year. No, I
Yeah.
got a 1st and 2nd this year and a 2nd and 5th next year.
Gotcha. So
Yeah.
okay, perfect.
Yeah.
All right, 154, my friend. Who do you got?
Yeah, so I addressed the interior offensive line in case a guy like Evan Neal isn't developing the way. And I got Jeremy Jones' teammate Garrett Dillinger. The offensive guard, 6'5", 322 pounds, dense frame, a good football IQ, but the really only problem is he's got a heavy footwork and his lack of athleticism that could prevent him. But like we said, you get him in that room with our great offensive line coach, he can work out that, work out the footwork, maybe drop a little weight and stuff so he can a little more agile and stuff. He could be a really good developmental piece for the interior of that line. And a good B plan in case Neal doesn't work out at guard.
Like that. Hey, we're fixing that O line, baby. We fixing that O line however we can. I tell you that.
After a decade of screaming about it, we're finally putting necessary, improvement into that line.
Alrighty. 154 for me. I got Fido Diggs, so we're staying close to home here. Diggs is from Syracuse, which is a hotbed for Giants players. Honestly, we've seen guys like DeVito, Justin Pugh, of course, we mentioned earlier from Syracuse as well.
Ryan Nassib.
Oh yeah, he played one game.
He played what? No, did he play that game?
He played the Minnesota game, didn't he?
No, he started the final quarter of the Minnesota game.
Injuries, right?
No, we were being blown out so bad. It was the game after the Josh Norman incident, and Beckham was suspended, and Eli Manning had probably one of the worst games of his career. We're getting blown out like 35-0 in like 5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. So Coughlin threw Nassib in there, and Nassib got a touchdown. He had like an 8-play drive that was beautiful for a touchdown.
I think that was the game where I was like, that's our future guy right there.
Oh, I love Ryan Nassib as a quarterback. I was banging the drum so hard for him to start. I loved him. I don't know why.
I was gonna say why.
I don't know. I can't tell you. I'm like, this guy's great. He's awesome.
So you must have saw something in Nassib that I did not. I thought he was our future, and then I was
whatever
like,
it was at Ryan Nassib. Me and Tom Coughlin.
Yeah, Coughlin saw something in there, and that flamed out.
He was a backup for like 5 years. Like he rode the bench for 5 years in the Giants. Which, like, hey, I think that says more about our quarterback situation than anything else. But hats off.
I'm gonna go back and look at the scouting report for Nassib and see what the heck you saw in him after this show.
I was also like 10.
Oh yeah,
that was a long time. I wasn't, dissecting prospects like I do now. I'm like, I don't know, Ryan Nassib. That's cool.
Yeah, that may play a role, age, in terms of why
age definitely played a role.
But yeah, Diggs was my pick at 154. High effort defensive lineman. Also is very flexible in terms of position, like Turner is, who I drafted earlier. So emphasis on versatility on that defensive line. Quick first step, is a disruptor with that step and the powerful hand usage he has. Can get into backfields with ease. But he does need to improve his pad level and his hand placement. And he is inconsistent in those two areas as well. But overall, just his athleticism stands out, and to get a guy like this in late rounds, we'll take it. So Diggs was my pick at 154, as we are on to 219 here in the 6th round. Seventh round actually. We don't have a 6th round pick this year.
Yeah, we do have a 6th round pick this year. 219 to 7th round.
Yes, sir. So who do you have at 219?
So I did this with the fact that Micah McFadden will be a free agent at the start of next season. And I drafted Kobe King. I thought a nice depth piece would bring in on the linebacking core. He finished his college season, 97 tackles, 9 of them for losses, 3 sacks, really good blitzer, is physical as a run defender, which we very well need on this team. Can read and react to quick plays around the line of scrimmage. He's got natural instincts, like I said, it's a night depth piece. Probably coming in certain run packages and stuff. So just someone to help give a little depth behind Okereke and McFadden.
Not much of a pass defensive guy, huh? To say the least.
No. We're just
Yeah,
afraid of in there on the run. But hey, we need run help. We need run help, and he's a guy that could definitely help in that area.
Alrighty, I love it. Yeah, so I went back with offense on pick 219. I went with Trevor Etienne from Georgia, the running back, 5'8", 198.
I like it.
Yes. Look, Tracy, I
Loved him
love
at Florida.
Yes, Etienne did play at Florida. I think so. He transferred to Georgia this past year, if I'm not mistaken. Yes.
Yes, he played in Florida in 2023 or 4.
Yes.
2023 and then 2024 played for Georgia. Yep.
Yes, and if that name sounds familiar, it's because he's the brother of Travis Etienne, who plays for Jacksonville. But I made the pick because our running back room, look, Tyrone Tracy's RB1, no question about it, unless we make some magical trade to get a running back in the mid rounds. He's going to be RB1. But, hey, ain't nothing wrong with getting depth in that position. Behind Tracy at this point, we have Devin Singletary and Eric Gray. And Dante Miller. With the last two guys, don't really like it. And honestly, Singletary could be a cut candidate for all I freaking care. Because Tracy took the job away from him and said, yeah, F you, it's my job. And we went from there. But Etienne does provide a depth piece, but also a guy that can come in for Tracy and be serviceable. He's a dynamic and explosive back, has good vision, good burst. He is undersized at times, which means he can struggle to break tackles and fight through contact, but his acceleration and agility, he is dangerous in space, has sharp cuts as well, and great hands as well in terms of the receiving game. But he just needs to bulk up, work on blocking in terms of pass protection, all the things. But when he is in open space, he is gone. You pair that with Tracy, pretty good running back room for you, if you ask me.
Yeah, no, it's a good 1-2 punch.
Yes, and I would rather take this guy over Singletary. I'm sorry. I did not like the Singletary signing at all. I ain't gonna lie to you. When we signed him, I was like, yeah.
I saw it as, okay, they're bringing a guy familiar with Dable. They need to replace Saquon with somebody. They can't just run the rookie out there. I was good with it. I think it is a time to cut him, though.
It reminds me of, and we talked about it last week with our top 5 worst Gettleman
I think I know where you're going with it.
It reminds me of the replacing Odell with freaking Golden Tate.
Yeah, I thought you were going to talk about the Jonathan Stewart signing. Is where I thought you were going with that.
The Stewart. Oh yeah, he was the Gettleman's because his.
He was a Gettleman because he was in Carolina, but he was cooked. He was cooked when he got.
Yeah, if we had the Stewart of 2012.
Oh maybe. Yeah, exactly. We're fine.
Ooh, yeah, but the Stewart of what 2017, 2018?
That was Saquon's rookie year.
Yeah,
it was Barkley and Stewart was the 1-2 punch. Now again, if it's Stewart 2012 with Barkley 2018, geez, we're winning the Super Bowl.
We are in the playoffs, I'll tell you that for sure, at the least. But yeah, Stewart was a very washed guy, but he gave us some carries.
He was all right.
Yeah, he gave us some carries.
He was there. He was a vibes guy,
He was there. But yeah, I just, man, the signings we made with Gettleman was just, it was nightmares to say the least. But moving on, round 7, because we still have March Madness and Juan Soto to get into as well. 246.
246, final pick. I didn't address the edges. We had Brian Burns and Kayvon Thibodeau, so we don't really need much help there. But hey, it doesn't hurt to get another pass rusher. I got Barrett Sorrell, the edge from Texas, 3-year starter at Texas. He finished with 10 sacks and 16 tackles for losses over his final 2 seasons. He's versatile, can play any sort of D-tex, constant pass rusher. He's winning with his athleticism. He's a guy that I think can be a really good, replacement for Azeez Ojulari. Go in there on certain packages and just hit that quarterback. That's his only job. Just hit the quarterback.
Okay. Yeah, I do want to mention real quick my Diggs pick. I was thinking about it yesterday and I forgot to bring it up. Mm-hmm. I get him at 154 and I get it. We have Tibbs and Burns, but I'm protecting myself in the event Tibbs is not back with us after this upcoming season. Not saying Diggs is a starter by any means, but I do think Diggs has these skills to develop into a solid guy that can
Hmm.
start. It's just with Tibbs, it's like I want protection behind him because Tibbs has just not lived up to the potential. We picked
Right.
up,
Yeah.
I think, have we? No, we did pick up his 5th-year option, or did we?
No, I don't think
How
so.
come
Not
we
yet,
didn't
at
hear,
least.
we didn't hear anything, did we? That's what I'm saying. Didn't the deadline pass to pick up 5th-year options?
Um.
Oh no, there's an article right here. No, we still May 1st.
I was saying, like, I think it's after the draft.
Mm.
I'd be surprised if he didn't pick up his 5th-year option. We're not picking up Niels, but Kayvon has actually like put up good numbers. He just hasn't been consistent with them, you know.
Yeah.
Like oh good, he's got double sacks. Well, yeah, he had 1 game with 3 sacks, and he had 2 games with nothing.
Plus, there's a possibility. Actually, there's some question marks. So what if Carter's at 3?
Well, see, I think if you draft Carter, you may pick up Kayvon Thibodeau's 5th-year option and just have a monster edge rushing team. You put the 2 edge rushers and got a guy at defensive end. That's what you do for the 2 seasons. And if Kayvon doesn't continue to grow or doesn't become that elite edge rusher they expect him, then you let him go. But I think if they draft Carter at 3, they'll go with just a 3-headed monster and just hope to rip a quarterback's head off.
Oh man, I wouldn't be upset at Carter.
No,
but only if Shadur is not there, then we get Carter. But man,
I think I'm a Carter no matter what on the board. I think Carter's my one right now. I really do.
There's no flaws with him.
No, there's not. I think it's for me. It's Carter, Cam Ward, Hunter, Shador. I think that's how I would go with right now.
Yeah, with Carter, it's like the only flaw I could think about because we were talking to edge rushers yesterday at the Corner Booth podcast. By the way, check that out if you guys haven't yet. Shameless plug for them. Yeah, because Carter's only flaw is he went from an off-ball linebacker to an edge rusher in just 1 year, so lack of experience on the edge. But that's literally it with him.
That's it.
He has everything you want. He's got bursts, explodes. He would get to the freaking quarterback better than anyone else in this draft. Dude, I look. I know I'm talking myself into getting him, even though
I did the same thing because I was so on the Travis Hunter thing, and the more I watch him, and the more I watch Philly win, I'm like, no, Philly had that amazing pass rush. If you can disrupt the quarterback, you're gonna win. So maybe Carter is the right guy.
Especially with the quarterbacks in our division, we gotta get to
build up those trenches.
Damn right.
Just be like, okay, we're not gonna beat you through the offense. We'll pivot and just be a defensive first team.
Yeah. So I love Carter. I do as a prospect, and if we get him, fantastic. And honestly, that sets our defense for the future with him and Burns. And if we bring back Tibbs,
it's the next Justin Tuck. I really think he's our next our next great defensive lineman. We'll be right there.
That's a good comparison to a Giants legend.
Notre Dame legend.
Miss my guy Tuck.
Justin Tuck's great. He was at Notre Dame for 3 years, and then went right to the Giants. I'm like, I never had to not root for you.
Heck yeah,
and then when he left, he went to the Raiders. Like the Raiders are kind of cool.
Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with the Raiders at all. No hate towards them whatsoever. We whooped that.
I kind of if I wish they have Mark Davis. I wish they didn't have that.
Oh yeah. Davis is not the best guy to root for at all because
he's just a moron. He's just like, I'm like, how did you come from Al Davis? Like I know Al Davis got a little senile there towards the end, but if you look at Al Davis from the Kennedy and Lyndon B. Johnson administrations, he is one of the best coaches of all time.
Damn right. But thank God they have Tom Brady over there, so they're building themselves back up over there in
they got
Vegas.
Pete Carroll. They got the right guy.
Yeah, they got the right guy. I think is Lockett there? Lockett? No, Lockett ain't got signed yet.
I think Tyler's.
Yeah. Keyword is not yet. I like that. Yeah,
he's still a free agent.
They should bring him.
Someone's got to bring him in. I wouldn't mind if we brought him in. If we're being honest, you want to throw Lockett in with that? I don't care.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, we didn't even cover the other receiver moves we made for the Giants. Oh, we'll get to that right in a bit.
Yeah.
Because we just have 2 receivers.
Zach Pascal, dude didn't get targeted this year.
Yeah, I heard he's gonna be like a special teams guy. He's gonna be like the Bryce Ford Wheaton, basically.
Cool. Awesome. I'm sorry. Dude ran cardio last year.
Come on, man. He was good with Indianapolis.
Yeah, that was 3 years ago.
I know. That was quite some time. We also
Joe
saw.
Biden was still president. COVID.
Yeah,
We were still wearing masks.
fine. We also did sign a little Jordan Humphrey as well, right, to a 1 year. He saw one interesting signing. He's going to
That's
be a receiving
interesting.
threat.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give you that one. That one's interesting.
Let's see if he can beat out Hyatt for number 4. I mean, Humphrey will be a special teams guy as well, but
Yeah. I saw a rumor Hyatt wants out. So,
well, he's in the weight room.
Cool.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know how much that matters. All right, real quick, I had Shiloh Sanders at 246. The safety from
Aaron the
Colorado.
brothers.
Indeed, this mock draft is like a storybook one for me. You know, you pair the two brothers together. You rebuild that O line with some great prospects. You get a Notre Dame guy. You get an explosive back in ETN, a pair with Tyrone Tracy, and then you end the draft. You end the draft with Shiloh Sanders. Versatile safety, he's a physical guy, has excellent ball skills. We saw that pick 6 against the Colorado State. That was a ball hawk interception on national TV. And he is a very willing run defender, and he delivers freaking hits. Now, his size is a bit of concern, 6 foot 195. His injury history is a bit of concern as well, including a shoulder injury and an ACL tear, which is where his durability comes into question. But he's a playmaker, man, and I guess it does kind of help. He is the son of Deion Sanders. However you want to, however much stock you want to put into that, that's on you. I don't put too much stock into it because he's a good safety. Now, he's not freaking outstanding to the point where it's like, oh, you got to draft him in the draft to get him. He can very well go on draft.
7th round pick.
Yeah, unless he has an outstanding pro day, his stock is nothing more than a 6th, 7th round guy / undrafted, whatever the case may be. But his ball skills cannot be questioned, to say the least. And to get a guy like this to go with a Newbin, and of course Javon Holland, and I think Dane Belton is still on the team as well. Pretty good, solid safety room, to say the least.
I would say so. I say so.
Yeah. So, but that will wrap up our mock draft. Mock draft number 1 is in the books, and we will to do a few of these before the season or the draft begins in late April. Not sure what our plans are for then, but we will see. I don't know. I think there's going to be an NFL draft belly up show. We'll see. I think there is. Don't know if we'll be a part of it yet, but we should be. But we'll go from there. Yeah, we'll figure it out. All right, but that'll do it. That was fun. I love your picks. That trade down with the Raiders, definitely.
That's franchise changing.
That is
next
franchise
year. Because let's look at this. So next year we're going in with 2 second round picks and a 1st round pick. Let's say we go 7 and 10. Jameis isn't the answer. We throw Jackson Dart in there for a few games. He kind of sucks. We want Arch Manning. Well, we have a lot of capital down to move up and go get him.
Yeah. Jackson Dart's not a bad quarterback either.
No, he's not a bad quarterback. I'm just saying I could see a world where, all right, we don't love this guy. We're only drafting him because we didn't know if we're going to have jobs next year. Now that we have jobs, let's look at Arch.
Who copied that? Who was that? There's a team that did the same thing that you just that. If that scenario happens and we get a quarterback next year,
the Browns. That? The Browns, the Cardinals did it.
Yeah. Oh, right. Because the Cardinals got Rosen and they got Murray the next year.
The Cardinals got Rosen, they got Murray. The Browns drafted Deshaun Kaiser in the 2nd round, like Dart, and then got Baker the next year.
Oh yeah, I remember Deshaun Kaiser,
a guy that needed to stay at Notre Dame for 2 more seasons.
Yeah,
like he was just really raw, and then throwing into Cleveland was the worst spot for him.
What was the one game I watched with Kaiser? He broke out. Texas. It was a Texas game that the Irish lost. Oh my God! Hold on.
He only started for I think 1 season, so
yeah. Kaiser was a starter in that game. Texas had 2 quarterbacks because they had Gerard Hurd. No, Gosh damn it! I'm gonna rewatch that game today. Actually,
I'm pulling it up right now. The Sean Kaiser game logs.
he played Texas. It was the opening game. One of the best games I've ever seen. It was a thriller. Texas won because they had a quarterback draw
Yeah,
up the
right
middle.
here. I got it. Texas. The first game of the 2016 season, Notre Dame lost 50-47 in overtime.
Yeah,
Kaiser
it was that game.
15 for 24, 215 yards, 5 touchdowns, and no interceptions.
Hey, he was slinging that
A
rock,
game
dude.
where there was just no defense being played whatsoever.
No, sir. Man, the Big 12 will be proud.
The quarterback for Texas.
There's two of them.
Yeah, no, there's only one.
What? I swear to God, they played two.
They played two, but one snap.
Can you name the two?
Shane Buechele and Tyrone Swoops.
Yes, Swoops. Yes, Swoops was the guy that
Sean Kaiser also rushed for 77 yards and a touchdown in that game as well. Sean Kaiser had 6 touchdowns.
He should have stayed in college, bro.
I hate Brian Kelly, hate him, but he nailed the Sean Kaiser thing. He's like, the Sean Kaiser's got all the skills. I need him back for one more year to hone him.
Gosh, dang it. But yeah, that was one of the best games. I'm surprised I remember that far.
Hey, 50-47. That's a great game.
That's a good game to remember. I tell you that. But yeah, sticking on the topic of college, March Madness update. Prayers to Juju Watkins.
Yes, scary injury last night. I was watching the UConn women beat up last night, so I only saw it till this morning, but it looks scary.
I'm blaming one person for her injury.
Yep.
Really? At 25, you're still babying or monitoring who your son hangs out with? Come on, Jaden Daniels' mom. Come on, Mrs. Daniels. Come on, man.
I kind of respect it in a weird way.
I don't. He's 25.
Oh, no, I get it, but I think she's just trying to keep him focused, not lose, like, hey, focus on football. Don't be stupid. Don't pull a Johnny Manziel.
Juju Watkins is an outstanding woman. He's not going to get in trouble.
She's being a little overprotective. The idea of what she's doing, I understand, but she is being overprotective.
Yeah, it is a bit much to say the least.
If your son's going to settle down with someone, that's the perfect person to, because she's living the same life he is.
She'll live in the same life. She's in college. She's going to school all 4 years.
If this was a 24-year-old, bar person that he met, okay, the mom's stepping in. Yeah, warranted.
I can see it. Watkins she's a good woman, man. But part of me thinks the mom may have put a little curse on Watkins, because after they hung out, Watkins' next game, ACL tear.
Yeah.
But all jokes aside, prayers to her, and USC is definitely out. Yeah, they're not going far. But yeah, I think who's the top women's contender? Is it what's that school on the women's side?
Oh, that school. Got it.
Yeah, that's really nice job, Nate. So specific. So specific. Texas is number 1. Oh, South Carolina.
Yeah, South Carolina is always good. UConn is killing everyone, like always.
Yeah. But more importantly, the men's bracket is something I want to get your input on. I knew it. I was like, what is that paper in the
You're not
background?
a true fan unless you write them out yourself.
You gotta be freaking kidding me. Well, I don't have a freaking print. Okay, I do have a printer, but I don't. My computer is not connected to the printer. That's my excuse. That's why we have my online bracket, which is pretty much kind of crap. But yeah.
This isn't my bracket. This is this is what the bracket's doing.
Bracket.
Like Auburn, Creighton. I'm writing out how they move on.
Oh, it's the keeping track bracket.
Yeah. So it just sits on my desk. So I can keep track of what's what.
That makes so much sense. But wait, we can go through them real quick. Duke is in the Sweet 16.
Yep.
Auburn Sweet 16. Yep. I thought UC San Diego was going to move on. They did not. Michigan beat them. Yeah. Nice job.
I had UC San Diego in the Sweet 16. Yep. Michigan. Damn.
Yep. I had them going all the way to Sweet 16, and that they failed me miserably. St. Mary's, also from California. They lost to Bama in the round of 32, which is fine. Good round, boys. The Aura God himself, Amir Khan and McNeese, they made it past the first round, which is fantastic. But they didn't go far after that. They lost to Purdue.
Bro,
76.
I saw the cheerleaders. They're wearing his face on their socks. They had his T-shirt on. I'm like, bro, what are you doing? Hang out with them.
Yeah, man, but he's over here being surrounded by security
They're wearing
guards.
your face on your shirt.
I know it's a bit much if you ask me, but hey,
You know what happened if I walked in and saw a group of cheerleaders with shirts with my face on it? I might die.
Oh, I'm putting up 30. I'm putting up 30. I'm putting up buckets if I saw that.
I'm either putting up like the Kobe Bryant like 81 game, or I'm dying.
Yeah. Shout out to St. John's.
Johnny's.
Can I win? Like the Giants at this moment suck.
First.
Man, the Yankee. Okay, no. I was gonna say the Knicks don't have. No, I'll say New York teams are just cursed. Giants are trash at this moment. Jets, same.
No, the Jets are actually cursed. Okay, the Jets are cursed.
Fair enough. The Nets.
The Mets got Juan Soto. Everything's looking up good for it. The Mets had a great 2024 and then got Juan Soto. They're the exception to the rule.
Yeah, the Nets are bad. The Knicks don't have Brunson.
The Nets are 10 years away from being good again. The Nets with all them, the big three, and then got a one playoff round win out of it.
It's just if you play for a New York team in basketball, you'd rather play for the Knicks.
Yeah.
No one's like, I'm gonna be a Nets fan or I want to play for Brooklyn.
There are no Nets fans.
No one says that. Dude, there's a reason why they're filled with just guys. I don't think they have any draft pieces the Nets do. Rookies.
They recovered a lot of them in the James Harden trade, so they have a lot of the Sixers picks.
Gotcha.
But not the first overall pick this year. That belongs to the Thunder.
Right, because the Thunder have all the freaking draft picks.
Not only are the Thunder the best team in the West, they have a decent chance for Cooper Flag.
Yes. I thought the Mavs were going to go for tank for Flag too, but it doesn't seem like it because they're trying now. AD's back. But yeah, back to March Madness. UCLA lost to Tennessee. That's another one that stands out to me because, California kid. You know what?
UConn played their hearts out against Florida.
Yeah, they barely survived. Oh, yeah, no, they lost to Florida 77-75.
They had a lead with 2 minutes to go, and they just went through a 4-minute stretch where they just could not make a field goal. If they make 2 field goals during that thing, we're in the UConn's in the Sweet 16 right now.
Yeah. And then UNC.
I'm kind of behind me.
Right. Biased. No bias there. And then UNC, a heartbreaker they lost to.
Yes.
That was...
No, the heartbreaker is Colorado State. That's the heartbreaker. When you hit a 3 with 3 seconds left, and Maryland just comes up with the perfect play to counter it.
I will say that the comment. I don't want to criticize. No, I'm gonna do it. I think the commentary of that call was
subpar.
I give her credit, man. She tried her best to be enthusiastic-ish. Not the best call.
No.
I go online.
You need a good Kevin Harlan needs to call that play.
Oh.
Ryan Eagle needs to call that.
One of Kevin Harlan's best calls in recent March Madness was last year. It was Virginia. No, 2 years ago. It was Virginia and Fulham.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It was like, I think Virginia or Fulham tied the game, and then they stole the inbounds pass, and then they shot a 3 to take the lead. And Furman, what did I say? Never mind. See, if y'all want to know what's the sport I don't know a lot, it is March Madness / college basketball. As you can tell by my brackets, screwed. Mm-hmm. What's the sport I really don't know yet?
Hockey.
Hockey.
We've played multiple games called "Is this a hockey player or is this someone else?"
And I have
You had average
failed.
results. You got 5. You went 5 for 10 and 6 for 10. You done okay.
You know, maybe one day
We're gonna bring it back. It's a fun game.
Either that or like on a dead game we'll do. Well, remember that NFL guessing game, the player guessing games we did?
Yes, we're Weddle.
Yeah, I wonder if there's a hockey one. There should be a hockey one.
Yes.
Remind me
There's
Thursday.
A baseball version of it too. Yeah.
Oh, we should do the baseball one on Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
I think I could do it. I know you'll do it. I know you could do it because you know more baseball than I do. Let's be honest in terms of all the teams. But let me put my skill set to the test that day.
All right,
Thursday, we're doing the baseball version.
I'm gonna find it. I think it's called Pickle.
The frick Pickle?
Pickle is it's runner gets in a rundown, so let's call it Pickle.
Makes sense. Okay.
Best if you play Little League baseball, when your coach said let's play Pickle, it was the best time to practice.
Good to know. Are there any matchups you want to review real quick in the Sweet 16, or anything you're looking forward to? Any teams that you thought was going to make it far?
To the Duke Arizona game. I can't wait to watch Duke. Okay. I'm in my dad's office pool at work, and Arizona's the only team left, so I put a future on Arizona to win the whole thing.
FanDuel, how's it going?
I win $420.
Not a bad futures deal. Hey,
no, it's not. I'm like, they're probably gonna get bounced by Duke, but if they can beat Duke, they'll go all the way.
Hey, Caleb Love.
So we'll be rooting very hard for Arizona whenever that game. I haven't checked the schedule yet, but go Wildcats.
Hey, I will be rooting for them. I mean,
maybe
Caleb.
Maybe watch High School Musical to get the Wildcat, like the R.
No, Mike. We're all in this together.
You ever seen the SNL skit of Troy going back? So like Troy is like the guest speaker at like the next class's graduation, and he's like, guys, nobody sings in college. He's like, I think we're the only high school in America that sings. Like, he just points out the entire absurdity of what's going on. I'll have to send you. I saw it the other day. I was crying. It was so funny.
I've seen it before. That like, it's been quite some time, so I think I need to watch it again for a refresher.
Yeah, everyone starts singing. He's like, no singing. Get that out of your system now. I haven't learned anything. And then he's like, I learned that I can, just because I'm different doesn't mean I'm not special. And then he goes, what's the capital of Texas? He's like, Texas City? He's like, yeah, you're screwed, bud.
You're not going to make it far. SNL, dude, is a fun sort of. The most recent Shane Gillis stuff is quite humorous, I will say.
Oh, chef's kiss.
I know. But yeah, Arizona's one guy to watch. Caleb Love is a guy to watch for that Arizona team, I should say. Because he played Duke when he was with the Tar Heels last year. So, revenge? I like it.
I mean, Tar Heels, there's one thing to teach you when you get on the UNC campus. It's to hate Duke.
Hey, Duke. Yes, sir. BYU taking on Bama. Houston and Purdue.
Shout out to that Wisconsin guy. The BYU guy elbowing him in the privates. Like, come on. I thought you guys were Mormons. I thought you were better than this. That was a cheap shot.
Just because he's a Mormon, bro.
Mormons are great people. I didn't think he would pull a dirty play like that. They're just so nice.
I know, but they don't. Oh my god,
that was one of the cheapest plays in basketball I've ever seen. He got a flagrant 2 and was ejected, rightfully so. I would have punched him.
Other matchups include Houston, Purdue.
The hockey player in me would have came out and immediately I would have dropped the gloves. I'm like, let's go, buddy. You don't do that. We don't do that here.
Not at this stage. No, sir.
Yeah, no.
A random Tuesday in November.
Some guy pisses you off. You want to send a message? Fine. Come on.
Other than that, not in this point of the tournament. But yeah, overall,
poor guy's fighting for his life on the bench over here.
But yeah, for me, not the best March Madness guy, but overall, it's still fun to follow, and we'll see what happens after the Sweet 16. Which
there's nothing like it. Nothing like it. No other sport has this chaos.
Yeah. Despite my lack of knowledge of it, it's fun to follow. So we'll see what happens after the Sweet 16.
College basketball is the greatest thing because every single year in March, the tournaments start up, like the conference tournaments start up, and you start watching. Like, man, this is awesome. Like, I got to get back into this. And then the season rolls around, and you watch it like around Thanksgiving, and then you stop watching until March again, and the cycle just keeps repeating itself.
It's like not a lot of people follow the whole college basketball season until March Madness.
I only really follow like UConn because like when you grow up in Connecticut, it's like UConn basketball is sacred.
Yeah, Huskies. All right, but yeah, we'll see what happens after the Sweet 16, which starts back up on Thursday.
Thursday 7:09, I believe, is tip off.
Yeah, 3. So we'll see if Arizona can beat Duke, and we'll see how the other matchups work out in all of the things. Finally, before we go, a quick discussion involving Juan Soto, who had an interview with the Today Show. They asked him a few things. Whether
they were trying to bait him so hard into saying something bad about the Yankees, and Soto played it perfectly.
Yeah. Signing with the Mets, I think a few takeaways to start from their interview. Signing with the Mets was a family decision. And you discussed this, right? When the Mets first signed him. The Mets, you guys took care of him. You guys cared about his family, give him his own suite, and all the things. And the thing with Soto, he mentioned how the Yankees did try to bring him back. He didn't. Yeah. There's nothing to complain about them. He talked about they were amazing for him. They tried. He mentioned how they tried their hardest to bring him back, but things happen.
Yeah.
And he
at the end of the day, he just liked the fit with the Mets better. That's all it was.
Mm-hmm.
There wasn't any like pity, like, oh no, I hate the Yankees, I hate Aaron Judge. It's just like, no, they made great offers, but I just felt the best thing for me and my family was to be a Met.
Mm-hmm. So, before we continue, I do have a subscription to Sports Illustrated, and I know I feel like this is going. Once I get it, I will show you the cover. But I think you should order the cover.
Oh no, I know. It's currently my screensaver, my desktop screensaver.
That fast?
Yeah,
you beat me too. You should get the magazine, bro.
I'm planning on getting it.
What was it? Alonso, Soto, Lindor, Diaz.
Come
on, Nate. Vientos.
It's Minaya, Pete, Lindor, Soto, Nimmo, Diaz, and Vientos.
Thank you very much. I was struggling to figure out the other guy, but I was like, that's Minaya. I was like, nah.
Yeah.
Of course, I should know him. He's a former A. Come on,
he's an A. He came up with you guys. He was your ace for a little bit.
Yeah.
Remember MLB The Show 17? I tried rebuilding the A's, and like Minaya was a center point of that team. Well, we're going to build this team around Minaya.
We had a pitching staff, bro.
That was a really underrated pitching staff.
Man, I miss the old days. Anyways, but yeah, so I talked about his time with the he appreciates the Yankees and all that, but signing with the Mets was a family decision. Mm-hmm. What other takeaways did you get from his interview with?
Mostly that he just seems humble. He loves to be a Met right now. They focus a lot on his relationship with the Yankees because they're like, oh, what's your first big purchase? And I like how he's like, the Mets won the World Series this year. He goes, well, that's the goal, but the point is at some point before I leave, we'll have a championship back in Queens. I'm like, let's go. This team's bought in. But if you really want to get a good perspective on the Soto and everything, Mets YouTube put out The Pursuit. It's a 2-part, 30-minute documentary. It's out. It's 2 parts about everything. The first part's more about the 2024 season, and then the second part's more about the pursuit of Soto. So if you want to skip a little bit, you can just go watch the second part. But in that one, they talk about Steve Cohen brought his wife and his father-in-law to the first meeting of Soto to show them that we're a family organization. And Steve Cohen's wife's in a documentary, Alex Cohen. She's shout out Alex Cohen. She is unbelievable. She is on opening day last year. She was in the Mets team store talking with fans, hugging them, doing pictures. She's unbelievable. Steve Cohen's great, but Steve Cohen's elevated because Alex Cohen is such a great woman behind her. Shout out to her. unbelievable person.
Hell yeah.
But no,
Hey, what do you?
for all of Cohen's business deals, he would always bring her to kind of show they're a family-run organization, and Soto ate that up when she brought him and them together.
Family is an underrated factor when it comes to signings.
Yeah, and Soto even says, like, I'm a family-first guy. Family is the most important thing to me. So Steve Cohen saw that and goes, okay, we're going to do this.
You're not just signing the player; you're signing the people that back them up on a daily basis. And for the Mets to be like, hey, your family will have their own suite here. We'll take care of them. All the things that shows, and not say the Yankees, that too. It's like I'm sure the Yankees. I'm sure
the Yankees had some sort of initiatives like that, but the Yankee security guard also kicked out Juan Soto's family last year, so Soto had that in his mind last year.
That's true. So the Mets, they took it a step forward and made sure the family's taken care of. That's what we love to see. Exactly. In terms of that. And then also Soto was asked about Judge, and Soto was like, yeah, he loved Judge. That's his favorite hitter, of course, and all the things. And what I think the interview wrapped up with Soto talking about his contract, the richest contract in sports history with the Mets, but that won't change his approach, saying, quote, they give me this for who I am. So I'm going to keep being who I am. That's the biggest thing for me. I just got to keep doing what I've been doing since day one.
Perfect answer. Nailed it.
Perfect answer. If he continues to do what he's been doing since day one, the Mets will be going quite far this season.
Yes, they will. Yes, they will.
And I will be dealing with you.
Yes, you will.
Of course. I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm looking forward to it. This baseball season cannot come soon enough, and it's right around the corner. Literally, it begins on Thursday, opening day across the league. So all 30 teams will be in play. So that's gonna be fun. Oh, I have to get the channel for the A's. I wonder who's calling games for us this year. Is it gonna be the lady or is it gonna be the guy? That's a good question. We'll see. I think she's still part of the commentary. Jenny Cavnar is the commentator for the A's. She called opening day for the A's last year, but not sure if she's gonna be doing it again. Yep.
They returned.
Yes, she is. Maybe she's better.
Hey, practice makes perfect. She did get better as the season went on last year. I'm not saying she really had much to live up to, but she did get better.
Rooker says a low one. Yes.
Well, no, she wasn't even the worst one. What was the one on ESPN with the college baseball? She said something about trees. If someone knows what I'm talking about, find it and tweet it at us. It's a video. Nice. It's a home run in the College World Series last year, and it's a girl announcer, and probably her first game because she made a call that was just horrific.
No, not it at all. Yeah, like she's a solid one. It's just there's some work to be done. I like the guy that they brought in, Chris Correa, middle of the season.
He's back. Dallas Braden as always.
Yeah, I love me then. Man, Braden's good.
Braden's great.
He's fun. He's fun. But yeah, for you guys, your commentary team, I don't know who you commentate.
It's Gary, Keith, and Ron again, like always.
Thank you very much. All righty.
20 seasons in the booth together, so it's only getting better.
All right.
Well, we're spoiled. Mets fans are spoiled with their broadcast team.
When it comes to watching a game, you got to have a good commentary team. That's one of the requirements for me. And, the Mets have that. And the A's are working on having that. The Phillies, they have a good with
Phillies are great. Phillies are great guys too.
Oh yeah,
that's just a lot.
They're funny over there too. And oh my God, you're complimenting the Phillies.
I'm complimenting the Phillies broadcast team.
I try to bait to the team, but you can't. I know. I understand. You're a Mets fan. You can't root for the Phillies.
No. I hope you go 0-162.
Okay, look, you guys beat us in London. Okay, so
yeah, it was fun.
I know it was. Anyways,
and the playoffs last year. That was the bigger one. The Lindor Grand Slam is in our intro. It's part of the show's fabric.
I know. I did it just for you, my friend.
I know.
But that'll do it for episode 70 of season 2 of the 3rd and 10 podcast. It was a fun episode. We did our first Giants mock draft, but it took most of the show's
Yeah.
time, but it's still fun and with all mock drafts. We'll do a full 32 first round mock draft after our draft previews.
The week
Um,
of. The week
the
of
week
the
of,
draft.
yeah, that would be, yeah. We'll have everything done then, and then yeah, we'll do a few Giants mock drafts specifically from now until then. And yeah, more draft talk to come. I should say Thursday will be the offensive line. So we'll do that. And then, yeah, we'll talk more baseball on Thursday and all the things in between. But you know where to find us. You can follow Brian at BrianPG1016. You can follow moi at Nathan_2124 and our podcast page at 310 Pod on the X, on the Instagram, on the TikTok. And you can also find us on the YouTube at 310 Podcast too. For Brian, I'm Nate. Thank you guys so much for listening this far into the show. Make sure to like, subscribe if you're on YouTube, and hit that bell on Spotify as well if you're listening to the audio version so you don't miss a single episode. We got a lot more to cover as the days and weeks go by when it comes to the NFL and baseball. So much more content coming out. And we appreciate your support as we are trying to get to 500 subscribers. We're 1/5 of the way there. And we just love your support, and we hope you guys continue to support us as well. So we'll see you guys in the next one on Thursday. More NFL draft content to come. Peace.